Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to season 11, episode 22 of Tap the Craft podcast. I am Denny Luce coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. How the heck are you doing tonight?
I am just fantastic. Just
Oh, okay.
fantastic.
All right.
And I'm ready to kick off this show and have a couple of beers and chat with you, but I want to know how you're doing.
I am doing well. Looking forward to drinking some beers with you tonight. In fact, we've got two we're going to share and do tasting notes from Alabama. As I choke on my own.
Should have had a beer to catch that.
Yeah, but yeah, we're doing some tastings. We'll be drinking. That's why we I didn't ask you what you're drinking right now because we have a couple
Mhm.
big beers that we're going to be drinking together tonight, and I thought it was probably best that we didn't pre-funk too much before we get into those tasting notes. We'll get into those tasting notes here just a minute,
Yeah, from all the
but
way up north in Alabama.
all the way up. But yeah, I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to our discussion and chatting. The weather's been like super hot here already in May. It's been in the 80s. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy smokes, it's gonna be a hot one if it's already in the 80s. Although we are gonna dump from 80s to like 50s. It's like up and down cycle, messes your head up, sinus booming,
Oh yeah.
not good.
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
had nothing but torrential downpour the last couple of days because
Oh,
it has been drought season and
oh,
we got something in the neighborhood of 3 or 4 inches of rain over the last 36 hours. So we're
wow.
the ground is soaking it back up because we were under extreme fire danger
Really?
over the last couple weeks. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I didn't.
Even we've actually been planning a trip to the Florida Keys next weekend
Ooh.
and we keep getting, videos from social media, oh, well, you search for the Florida Keys on Google, and then all of a sudden Facebook gives it, and yeah, Jesse, he said super hot is 80 degrees, yes. But but yeah, there was a wildfire in the Florida Keys, and Tina's going,
Wow.
oh no, we gotta no, what's gonna happen? And then she comes to find out this was last week. It's done. It's
Okay.
stopped, thank God. But
Thank
uh,
goodness. Yeah, I don't want to ruin that. Yeah, I didn't know that Florida not only had hurricane, tropical storm issues, they also have wildfire issues. That's crazy.
wildfire, tornadoes, hurricanes, alligators,
Oh yeah.
panthers,
Oh
bears.
wow. Who
We
would
even
ever live down
I
there?
went and visited. I know it's idiots. I went and visited my dad in Jacksonville last weekend or the weekend before, and we had a
Yeah, yeah.
huge thunderstorm. It had marble-sized hail.
Wow.
Yeah, we saw
Damn.
it
It's like
all.
you're in Texas.
Yeah, we saw it all.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, let's get this show started. Before we get too far, we always want to let anyone new listening to Tap to Craft podcast know what we are about. We are an educational podcast celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you're listening to episode 282, recording on Monday, May 12th, 2025. And we are live on Facebook. And if you would like to join us during our recording, you can do that on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time. And in this episode, we are going to dive in to the decoction mashing technique.
Denny, watch your mouth. This is a family show.
I know, yeah, yeah. So we had a fantastic conversation with Ben Howe last episode, and he mentions that he does all of his beers, his lagers, in a decoction, a triple decoction, actually, a very lengthy procedure. And I was thinking that, you know what? I bet there's a lot of people out there that don't really know the details of behind decoction brewing, mashing technique for brewing. So we're going to go do a little deep dive into it and tell you all about decoction mashing. And as we already hinted at, we are going to do two tastings of some beers from Alabama, thanks to our good friend Batman Dan and his lovely wife, Batgirl Jessie.
Yes.
I got a nice little care package from Alabama with a lot of good beers in there,
Well,
and I can't wait to share them
I have a
with
question
all.
for you though.
Yeah.
Um, What was on the outside of the box? Was there anything specific on the outside of the box? Was there a Batman sticker on the box?
No, I don't think so.
Daniel.
But there was a nice letter inside with a big Batman symbol inside.
Okay, okay, I take it all back then. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, and of course, you know what? You can count on Kris and I having some great conversation. And Kris and I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, Jim Kutzell, Alex Fuchs, and Eric Scotty Ward, who are all our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Chad Lamassa, Mark Church, Eric Gronley, and Batman Dan, who want to buy us a virtual beer. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. Okay, Kris, I am thirsty. How
Well,
about we do the
that's
first beer
that's
tasting?
all we've known about you. You just nothing but thirsty.
I'm thirsty for beer.
Yeah. Well, I just had a water first.
Okay.
There was maybe an eighth of a teaspoon in the bottom of my glass. So I'm being responsible, staying
Yes, yes.
hydrated
Yeah,
with a little bit
I
of
drank. Yep, I
hmm
drank a 20 ounce bottle right before I came up here. So hopefully my bladder can withstand a couple beers to go along with
Jesus.
it.
And start the countdown for pee break.
Yes, but we are. I know, Kris, you mentioned this brewery in a previous show, but we're going to be drinking a Yellowhammer Brewing Miracle Worker
Mhm.
Belgian-style Tripel triple. So we both got the same beer. Look, we're both
I
holding the
know.
same can of beer.
It really really makes me smile when you and I, Denny, can be what 2,500 miles away and we hold up the exact same thing
That's right.
that we get to share. And
Yes.
I I I'm really appreciative of this. Um, Jesse said that she had nothing to do with this and that Dan forged her name. It's not your name anymore, Jesse. It's both of your names now. Just
Well,
like I'm just like I'm sure he's not allowed to open your mail. Yeah, he's allowed to.
I'm still appreciative of you, Jesse,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you guys are a team. So it's a team activity. But I do appreciate it. Okay, this is a 9% ABV triple, Belgian triple. So it says inspired by the Trappist brewing tradition, this golden Belgian style triple displays a floral and spicy aroma. European Pilsner malts and expressive Belgian yeast give this classic ale a honeyed sweetness on the tongue and a dry finish. Sounds delicious to me. Let's see if we can pull out those same notes.
You're gonna love it.
So yeah, definitely yeasty esters coming right out. You know what you expect from a Belgian ale. Very strong. Got maybe a little bit of a bubblegummy character in there. A little
Oh,
bit of clove or coriander lingering in the depths there too.
guess who I bumped into the other day, Denny?
Oh,
I
who was
was at
that?
my local Publix grocery store, the one that I go to all the time. Ran into Matt Griffo.
Oh,
Was
Matt
shopping for some
Griffo.
groceries as he's on with us right now too. Bumped into him. I mean, I've had a beer with the guy. It's always weird when you're just walking through the store and you're like, I know that that's Matt.
Ah, that means you just gotta see each other more often, so
Yeah.
you'll remember his face right off.
Well, plus, he was further away at the start, and I'm like, yeah, that's Matt.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's what I get. A little bubble gum, little coriander in there. I mean, I don't know if I don't really smell any florals right now. It's kind of cold. Mine. You know what?
Mine's
I didn't
very
take a.
cold. Ah,
Yeah.
man, I need
I
to.
didn't.
Okay,
Let me.
Amazon.com. Need to order myself an infrared thermometer.
All
I
right.
said,
Mine says it's 50. Let's see. Let me go into the beer. That was from the side of the glass. Let me go into the beer. 46 in the glass.
I mean, I do have a probe thermometer I could stick in there, but
Whoa, that's a little too sensitive
I
there.
still remember we are a family show.
This is a family friendly show. We got a lot of innocent people watching.
Oh,
Okay,
look at that.
let's go ahead and take a
$9. Get it tomorrow.
take a sip of this thing.
Add to cart.
Wow.
There's the floral.
Yeah, there is some floral right up front in that flavor. Really good. Really crispy too. It's got a
Hmm.
crisp character to it.
I like that it's not so sweet at the end. It's a little dry,
No,
a
it's dry.
little bit of
It's actually
bitterness.
really dry, and
Hmm.
which I appreciate because that makes anytime you have a dry beer like this that kind of has a little bit of sweetness in there in the front, but it finishes dry. It always makes you want to just take another sip because it's just like, boom, I'm ready for something else.
Yeah, yeah.
My palate's cleansed. Wow, this is really good.
Okay.
It's uh, it's got I mean, it is a bit bold in flavor, so
Ooh.
it's not one of those lighter triples that sometimes you get. Like my favorite triple is Triple Carmelite. It's one of my favorites. It's a more of a lighter, delicate, just like and really effervescent too. It got a lot of bubbles in there. This one's got those flavors, but they're like boom, you're gonna hit you. So if you're not a fan of Belgian beers, this one might be a bit strong for your first try because it does have some pretty strong flavors. But again, it's 46 degrees in my glass, so let me warm it up, and it might just not be as strong, but really good flavors. What do you
Hmm.
think, Kris? Give your opinion here.
Hang on.
Come on,
Okay.
dead air.
No, not dead air. Oh, you want me to sneeze in the microphone? How about that? How about that?
Light it up.
Mm.
Light up those levels.
Yeah. So this one, this beer, I get everything that is talked about in the description of it, even the
Yeah,
floral side of it. And
yeah.
my guess is, thank you, Jesse. She said, bless you. You're over here talking smack to me. You're like,
Yeah.
"We dead air. Let's drink my beer. Give me a minute." But the floral, the spicy notes, it's really everything I would want a Belgian triple or Belgian tripel to be.
Hmm.
And the fact that it is a little drier at the end,
Hmm.
and it does make you want to just continue drinking it, but it's not super carbonated where you're just
No,
like bloated from drinking it.
no,
And
no.
that's all right. Yeah.
I tried to cover it. Hopefully it wasn't too loud.
To be gentle as you expel your
I was trying.
CO2. Yeah,
It does have some carbonation because
it does.
I am super sensitive to it. I have to get it out, or it's going to come shooting out my eyeballs and nose. So
Okay, I thought you were gonna
I
say
have to let
something
it go.
else.
It's never come out the other end, but
Mm.
but I also get it's funny they mentioned that honeyed sweetness because I get that in the in the after finish. You
Hmm.
really can sense the honey flavor in there, which is kind of nice. And it blends in well with the floral character you get. That I feel I get right there in the front with the yeasty characters because you get the yeast characters, you get the floral, and then it subsides and then blends into that kind of like that coating of a little bit of a
Yep.
honey character in there, and then finishes off.
It's kind of like
I
drinking
would
a
say,
spring day.
yeah. And honestly, I mean, I said bold flavors, but this is really drinkable though.
Hmm.
I don't want to misrepresent that it's not drinkable. This is super duper drinkable. I like this a lot. This is a and I'll take it back to it's not too smelling it. It smells like it's going to be super Belgian-y, but actually drinking it, it's not as strong in the Belgian flavors that I would have expected. So it's
Well,
kind of maybe it is one you could drink new.
maybe.
I
There's
don't
only
know.
one way to find out. Go get yourself where'd my can go? Go get yourself some Miracle Worker from Yellowhammer Brewing.
Yeah,
Decide for yourself.
yeah, it's really good. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jesse. I'm digging this. I like
Yeah.
it a lot. It's nice to have. I haven't had a triple for a while, so it's good that we went ahead and brought this in to to shake things up a bit. And maybe Kris, we need to go back in and drink some more Belgian beers together because this is fun,
Yeah.
especially now that you like Belgians.
Yeah, only, just what 10, 11 short years ago, I was not such a fan.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I don't want this show to go, into the 2 hour mark. So we're going to continue on and we're going to enjoy this beer as we go into the content. So we do have another upcoming interview. We had a great interview last episode and we're taking a break from interview. We're going to hit another interview next episode. Is that right, Kris? The next one? No, maybe
No,
ninth?
it's not the next one. It's going to be the one after that.
Gosh, how come I can't keep track of you're right, the one after that. You're absolutely right. So June 9th. June 9th, we're going to talk with home brewer Matthew Jung, learn about his ambitions with Barkyard Brewing. Uh, and this is going to be Kris and I are going to have to collaborate because I'm not familiar with Barkyard. I'm
Me
guessing.
either.
Oh, neither of
And
us are.
here's how, or here's how
Okay.
I found out about him was just through TikTok. So
Okay.
I was on TikTok and found a bunch of breweries that we're following on there, and I sent out messages. Hey, we're always looking for folks to chat with and enjoy a beer with. If you want to
Yeah.
hop on with us, let us know. And
And he hit us up.
and Matthew responded back to us, and here we are. We've got a date on the calendar, and we've sent out all the information to him, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be good. I like doing some of these, not quite up there at the big level brewing. From what I tried to find, finding information. Like you said, he has a lot of little videos of
Hmm.
short videos he does. So I watched a few of them to try to get an idea of what he's about. But trying to dig in and find out information, tough.
Yep.
So we're
Yep.
going to have to come up with questions that are going to drive the conversation and, find out, what his plans are with Barkyard Brewing and when, he obviously has a name. He's brewing beer. He's winning awards. I saw he
Yeah.
won best of the Dairy Days or Dairy something in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in Wisconsin, man. Yeah, so good for him making some good beer. So yeah, we got fun with that. All right, we also had some feedback from our last episode. Eric Scotty Ward, you can count on him leaving us an email.
The
He left
next
us
morning.
2 emails. Yeah, next morning. Short and sweet. Just listened to last night's show. Great conversation with Ben and Otherlands Brewery. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Eric. We appreciate all the feedback that you provide. Then today, I received an email this morning when I was checking emails because I like to make sure I get everything into the show that comes in. He said he sent us another email, and this one is when last mentioning the rice lager I brewed, I wanted to lager it for 3 months. Well, things changed, and I ran out of my Czech pills.
No.
So the rice lager went into rotation after only 1 month of lagering. Although on the side pull, I am trying to not drink it and continue the aging process. Overall, right where I wanted to be. Have a great podcast tonight. Thank you for keeping us up to date with your rice lager. And now this is, I'm assuming this is the one that you brewed for yourself. You still have one in your son's fridge, I believe, right? So maybe that one can age a little longer. Or did you go and steal that one back from your son and put it in your fridge because you wanted to drink it? Either way, it'll be good. And I'll be curious to see how that improves over time with age and clarity. He did also include a picture, and it looked like a good beer. Not quite as clear. Actually, the beer kind of looked like this beer.
Mm.
A little bit. You couldn't quite see through it, but it looked like it was heading that way to clarity over time. So, good job, Eric. Good job. All right, Kris. Guess what?
What?
We have some voicemail.
You
Yes,
do?
we have some voicemails from our good buddy Jim Kutzall and Tara Carlson, mainly Jim. And everyone knows to prepare for a bit of a conversation because Jim loves to leave at least 3 voicemails to get everything in. So, Kris, let's go one at a time and we'll talk about what he says after each one. How about that? Sound
Sounds
good?
good.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Jim Kudzall here. I'm here with Tara and my brother Robert, and we decided to take a trip up to New England, visit my family. And by the way, we also talked my brother into finally joining Untapped. So I think he's got, how many check-ins you have under your belt?
6.
3? Oh, he's got 3. Well,
okay.
that's good. We were here for the weekend. So also...
But he hasn't friended Kris McKenzie yet.
Yeah, he hasn't friended anybody. Well, who's he friends with? Me and Tara.
And Greg.
And Greg. Okay, Greg. That's Haven's boyfriend.
I'm friends with Greg.
We're currently in Charlton, Massachusetts at the Treehouse Brewery, the main Treehouse Brewery, because they got several around the area. For Christmas, I gave my brother a gift certificate for Treehouse. He decided to use it at the one in Woodstock, Connecticut, instead of the main one here in Charlton. I think he was afraid of the crowds up here, because it can get very busy. Although today it's not bad. Nice and sunny. I think maybe everyone's hungover from Mother's Day. So not bad at all today. But he lives about halfway between the two, so he can actually have his choice. The one in Woodstock, Connecticut, I guess it works both ways, right? Each brewery cannot sell their beer at the other tap room, right? They have to sell whatever's brewed there. I guess it's state laws or something. So he goes to the one in usually in Woodstock, Connecticut, and they have a more limited selection of what you can get, but the beer's just as good. So he's been plying us, before we got here today, all weekend, he's been plying us with cans of Treehouse beer that he's been collecting.
He's been very generous.
Yeah, very generous with Treehouse beers from the Woodstock collection. Very good beers. And I should say that on our trip up here, we've been trying to catch up with the podcast. I think we're up to, the end of January or something like that. So we're a little bit behind. One thing I should mention, though, is on one of the recent podcasts we're listening to in the car, I forgot who was saying this, but there was mention about Guinness, the Guinness Brewery in Baltimore. Someone mentioned that the Guinness Stout was brewed there. Actually,
there's the end of the first one.
Okay, that's the first one.
Yeah, so on a road trip, they haven't taken a road trip for a while because we know that. How do we know that? Because they're getting caught up on podcasts. They usually listen to it when they're on their road trips, and if they're only through the end of January, they've.
Weren't they in Europe at the end of last year?
They did go to Romania. Yeah, they were in London for a while, and Romania, Belgium. I think they went to Belgium, and Romania, Transylvania. Yeah, for a good trip. I doubt they listened to the podcast during that, unless they.
Well, they're overdue. They're overdue. They're catching up. I'm proud of them.
But they're visiting family up in New England and visiting Treehouse Brewing. Now, I would love to visit Treehouse one day, but interesting how he's saying that they can't, they have to brew their own beers. I wonder if it's because they're across state lines, one in Connecticut in Massachusetts, and maybe there's some kind of weird distributing law that won't allow them to trade beers back and forth. So you have to brew whatever beer, or maybe they just don't want to go through the hassle of doing that distributor, because I'm sure that there's some archaic distribution law that they don't want to mess with. They just go ahead and brew their own. And if it's as good at both locations, I don't know. You got to kind of get a can from each and see if there's any differences.
Well, and you can't hire Burt Reynolds to take it over anymore. So maybe rest in peace.
Smokey and the Bandit. Oh, love it. I love it. Yeah.
All right.
So, okay. So now he's going to correct us in what was said about the Guinness when Wayne Wambles was on. I think here's what he's referring to.
Okay. Here we go.
Jim again, part 2. I was talking about the Guinness Brewery in Baltimore, and while they do serve Guinness Stout there on tap, they do not brew it there. It's imported from Ireland, so if you want Guinness on Stout, it's going to be the real Irish brewed Guinness Stout. Now, one thing I should mention is that if you do order a Guinness Stout in the Baltimore tap room, they will give you a 20-ounce real pint, imperial pint, for the same price as you would pay for 16 ounces of other beers that they brew.
The only reason I like the metric system.
They only sell the beer in that tap room that they brew there on site. And they don't brew the stout on site. Unfortunately, I think that would have been a great addition, but they don't for some reason. One thing I should mention in passing, Tara's father passed away recently. So I want to give a shout out to him. He was a big beer fan. He would always have a quarter keg of beer on tap. No, it was a half keg of beer on tap at his house all the time, because he repurposed the refrigerator and he drilled a hole in the side and put a tap there. So that was always a treat. Nothing fancy though, nothing craft, unfortunately. But if you wanted beer, you had beer. So that was always a good treat.
Say his name.
Oh, his name is Quick Carlson. That's his real
Homer Carlson.
Quick Homer Carlson. That's his real given.
That's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
So again, shout out to Quick. We miss you.
Yeah. Cheers to Quick.
Another thing I would like to mention is Tara is retiring this summer, end of July. She's trying to extend it to the 1st of August. I guess you get an extra month's worth of benefits or something if you retire in the next month. So Tara and I will be able to. I've already been retired for a while, so Tara and I will be able to get into many more road trips coming up now that she'll have more time available on her hands.
Keep you in line, Jim.
And we're looking for, if we could take more road trips, we can finally get caught up with our...
That was the...
Oh, is that the end of that one?
Yep.
Yeah, so, we are sorry for your loss, Tara, for your dad, but I love the fact that he has a very unique name, that it's the first Quick Homer Carlson I ever knew. So that's a great name. And he loves beer, so that's good too. And congratulations on your retirement coming up here soon. I'm very envious of you. I can't wait for my retirement, but mine will be a few years away still.
I don't know if we can let her retire, because then they're gonna catch up on all the episodes, and then and then we're gonna have to, keep more get more content out, or she's either gonna have to wait on the new episodes and just watch more of The Bachelor.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's a callback.
Yes,
callback to early shows.
Bit. Yes, that's a 1 year or 2 year old callback.
Nice. All right, well, let's get to part 3 of Jim's voicemail.
This is Jim, part 3. I've got to leave 3 parts, so I got to figure out something to say here. I guess one thing I should mention is that, I don't know, this is 10 years ago. We went to Asheville with Tara's father, Quick. We call him Pops. So we went with Pops and Tara's mother on a trip to Asheville. We have a niece that lives there, and they're all involved in the brewing industry. Her husband at the time worked for Wicked Weed. And he now owns 5 locations now of the Whale. two of which are in, no, three. He's got three locations in the Asheville area. One Asheville proper, one the original West Asheville, and then East Asheville. And two more. One in Charleston, South Carolina, and what's the other one? Greensboro, South Carolina, on the border.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he didn't have all that back then. But when we went down to visit, Quick was, he's a big beer drinker anyway, and he probably doesn't really care what he drinks. But he was really insistent on, anytime we sat down at a brewery, in the picnic tables and the communal areas, insisting on old beer songs, where you swing your stein back and forth and, wail.
In a brewery.
You had to sing in a brewery. That was his thing. So, we missed that. So anyway, keep up the good work.
We're up to Christmas 2024, right?
No. We're at the end of January 25.
Yeah, get it together, Tara.
We'll catch up. It won't take long. So, good to see you guys when Tara.
And cheers to Eric Scotty Ward. I'm only drinking side pours.
Yeah, Tara's drinking side pours today at the brewery. So unfortunately, they didn't have the Czech Pilsner on tap.
Well, there's a different Czech Pilsner.
All right, not the one you wanted, not the one you had last time, right? Okay. Anyway, I don't want to take up everyone's time, so cheers to everyone, and have a great day.
Ooh, he had 4 seconds left to go on that one.
Yeah, so he literally made that in 2:56.
Yeah.
I think you're right. And I was shocked that he didn't go over one more. But wow, great, shout out from Tara to Eric Scotty Ward about the side poll. She's paying attention.
Yeah.
That's good. And what was the other thing I was going to say? I'm burping. By the way, this Tripel is really good. I'm really enjoying this a lot. This is a really good.
Yeah.
I only have a little bit left. I'm trying to let it warm up a little bit more, but man, the flavor is really nice. As it warms up too. At the end, he mentioned Eric Scotty Ward. Gosh, I had it and I forgot what I was going to say.
Was it about the whale?
No. I meant to say this before the voicemail starts. So here's a funny story. I'm at work. I'm working away. Boo, all of a sudden, my phone rings. I look at it, and because Jim has my personal number.
Mm-hmm.
Although we never talk on the phone, we usually just text back and forth. So when I saw him calling, I'm like, oh, you know what? I bet he meant to send this to the Tap to Craft voicemail, and he called my personal. So I answer it. Hey, Jim, how you doing? And he wasn't prepared. I don't think he had it up to his ear. And I heard background noise and stuff. And he's telling his brother, hey, just say what you're drinking, trying to get him involved. And then it hangs up. So then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was a butt dial. Maybe it wasn't. And then all of a sudden it rings right back. And I answer. I said, hey, Jim, this is Denny. And he goes, oh, you answered the phone. I was like, yeah, you called my personal line, not the voicemail. And then he's like, oh, no, I called the voicemail. I said, well, it could be that the voicemail, it forwards to my phone, but I usually have it just go straight to voicemail. But maybe something got changed. I'll check on it. But after we get done chatting, call, check and see and call back. And if I see your name come up again, I'll just let it go to voicemail so it goes. And he said, okay, yeah. So we chatted for a while. And that's why I already kind of knew a lot of what he was going to say because we already talked about it live on the phone when we were chatting. But then sure enough, he hangs up. And then I think he noticed that, oh, I did call the personal number. And then boom, the 3 voicemails were on the voicemail line. So that was that was just a little interesting little side story there to the voicemail. But if you want to be like Jim and leave us a voicemail about a good beer ventures you're doing, You can do that easily at 208-536-3359. If you've been drinking 9% triples and you just can't remember numbers very well, how about 208-53 oddly? And leave us a voicemail. Program that into your phone. Then all you got to do is yell in your phone to whatever assistant you have on there to call Tap to Craft Podcast. Boom. And leave us a voicemail. But like I always say, if you are too shy to get your voice on the air, you can reach us through email like Eric Scotty Ward did at taptocraft@gmail.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/taptocraft. And don't forget, we do have a website at taptocraft.com. Kris, are
Denny.
you ready to continue the Are you ready to continue the conversation?
I'm always
Are
ready
you?
to continue the conversation
Well,
with you.
let's do it because now it is time to untap the craft
Okay.
and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untappd.
Okay. So I was a little confused because you kind of stalled there for a second. Maybe that beer's kicking in.
It's starting to kick in.
But Dan Winch said that he prefers roll out the barrel polka when he's drinking at breweries, and his wife said, yeah, he likes any polka with the top down on the car in the middle of a winter. And then Matt Knight hopped on and said howdy. So thanks for joining us,
Howdy,
guys.
Matt.
We really appreciate it. So if you want us to read your check-ins on Untappd, make sure you're following me on Untappd. Username is K9Hops. So that's the letter K, the number 9, HOPS. And we read your check-ins approximately 24 hours before we record. Now, this one slipped by that 24-hour mark, but there's a little bit of sadness to go along with it because David Campbell right here in Tampa is drinking a DBR by Cycle Brewing Company. Now, Denny, you've heard of Cycle Brewing Company
Yeah.
before, right?
Yeah.
They are closing the doors.
Oh, really? We just talked about them. We just talked about them like a couple of shows
episodes ago, yeah. And sadly, they are closing the doors to their tap room right in the middle of Central, or right on Central Avenue in St. Pete. I believe it's in the next couple of days. So,
Oh, wow.
so there's been a
Too
lot of
bad.
push for people to get out there. Yeah, it's very big, sad, Matt Griffo. Get out there, buy any of the bottles that people can buy. So I believe that this is where this came from
Okay.
for David Campbell's check-in, but no notes, no rating. He just checked into the DBR by Cycle Brewing Company. On a more happy note,
Okay.
Eric,
I like happy notes.
Eric Scotty Ward is checking into this one's a good one, a 27th anniversary ale from 2023 by Firestone Walker Brewing Company. And
Wow.
he said, I've had 3 different years of the Firestone Walker anniversary, and each tastes very similar. Overall, a smooth, sweet, bourbon barrel aged. The 12% plays well with the flavor. I gave this one 4.5 caps for that check-in. And Alex Fuchs has been doing a lot of Chinese drinking.
Oh, he's in Taiwan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I forgot he had, but I didn't realize he was going to Taiwan from here. Is he in Taiwan?
Well, he's checking into Taihu Craft Lager, Orion Okinawa's Craft.
Oh, maybe he's in Japan right now then.
So he's checking into the DoubleTree by Hilton in Taipei. So that's Taiwan.
Oh, he's in Taiwan. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So,
Ah.
but yeah, he's checked into a few things, getting his beer check-ins around the globe. So I'm glad to see that. A little bit of everything in there. Snowy New England IPA. What else did he have in there? Taihu Craft Lager. Yeah, so he's getting a little bit of everything while he's over in the in Taiwan. Let's see. We've got next is where'd it go? Jim Kudzall. Hey, we haven't said that name in
Jim.
forever. He's drinking a Canada Gold by Treehouse Brewing Company at Treehouse Brewing Company. He said finally made it to the Treehouse Brewery after being teased all weekend with cans supplied by my brother. A glorious sunny day with a glorious beer. It can be difficult to find a good Helles lager in the US, but these guys knocked it out of the park. So 4 3/4 caps rating for that one. And then Tara Tara Carlson checked into a La Grotte by Treehouse Brewing Company. She said, when visiting Jim's family, a visit to Treehouse is a must, but I think I'm going to stick to the side pour bar. 4.5 caps for that check-in. Let's see. We've got Leo checking into an English Pale Mild by Main Street Brewing Company at Main Street Brewing Company. No notes, but 4.25 caps to go along with that one. And Chad Lamassa said on one of Jim Kudzall's check-ins, kind of jealous you guys are at Treehouse. Have fun.
Bring me back some.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Jim, while you're out there, you're not going to hear this for 6 months, but hey, pick up some cans and mail them to me. I would love to get some beer from Treehouse. And to Kris, too. We can do tasting notes on the air with some Treehouse beers.
Well, speaking of Chad Lamassa, he's checking into a do or do not, there is no try, by Idiom Brewing Company. He says, this tastes like those cola wax candles. Not really my favorite.
Oh, those are horrible. Oh, nasty.
Jordan missed dunks. It's a lot to expect a brewery to be perfect, but it's Idiom, which is one of my favorite breweries, and it's a Star Wars themed can. So that will get it a couple points. He still gave it 3.75 caps, and the can art is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But can't say I'd give it that.
Yeah, I couldn't give it if it tasted that bad.
Why you got to bring Michael Jordan into this?
Yeah,
Chad.
Yeah.
What did he ever do to you? Moving on up, he's going to check in and make it a little better. So Chad's checking into Asleep on the West Coast by Elder Pine Brewing and Blending. Nice and piney. Let's go Caps. CAPS is going to be his notes for this one. 4.5 caps for that check-in. Bill Schlemmer drinking a Scorpius Morcella by Toppling Goliath Brewing Company, checking in at the Draft and Vessel. And he said, great beer, malt, hoppy forward, nice balance between citrus sweetness and bitterness, clean and smooth. 4.5 caps for that one. Mr. Eric Gronley drinking a This Beer is Nice by Surly Brewing Company. He says it right on the can. Tastes like beer. This has been in my fridge for the last couple of months. It's tasting even better on a 91-degree record breaker today.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was hot here. Oh my gosh.
Easy drink. I thought it was hot here too. Damn.
Oh my gosh.
4.25 caps for This Beer is Nice. And then moving on up, Chew Your Beer, Robert. This is like the second time we've read check-ins from you in like the last couple of months. Checking into an Elemental Existence by Beechwood Brewing. He said, first in my community to untap this beer. You get a lot of those, buddy. I don't know how, but you do. This beer is fantastic. Beechwood and there does not exist. Oh well. Okay. Should always get together and make West Coast IPA. 4.75 caps rating.
That's another. Okay, it's Beechwood, and that should not exist as another brewery. That's like a. It's kind of like a speakeasy brewery thing. But I've heard interviews with them, and I really want to try that brewery too because I hear they're making some fantastic beer. So that's what. Yeah, excellent.
Well, and my last one before I hit refresh is going to be from Mr. Matt Griffo, checking into The Power of Imagination Makes Us Infinite.
From Burial?
Denny, with a name like that, where do you think it came from?
It's Burial.
Wrong.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't Burial?
It's not. Sky Puppy Brewing, right here in Tampa.
Sky Puppy, they're taking after Burial, huh?
Hey, listen, that's why I read it to you like that, because I knew what you were going to say. Solid-ass Vienna lager, nothing but killer beers out of Sky Puppy. And 4.5 cap rating for Matt's check-in from Sky Puppy. So, Denny, do you know what a Sky Puppy is?
No.
It's a bat.
Oh.
So it's very bat-themed in there. We still haven't gone over there. My dumbass. I was in Ybor 2 nights ago. I could have went over there.
Oh, man.
And then Matt Griffo, again, checking into a Postcard Pills by Green Bench Brewing Company. Always a solid beer. Can't go wrong with this one, he said. 4 cap rating. And that is what everyone is drinking.
Great beers. Thank you, everyone, for sharing and drinking a lot. I know what I was going to make a comment about. I just remembered it from Jim's voicemail was when he was talking about it not being so busy at Treehouse because everyone was drank too much for Mother's Day. I thought that was a
Oh yeah, that was
funny
great.
comment. That was
Yeah, we
that was funny.
yeah, I had a couple. It was nice. Went out on
Oh,
Sunday, went out on Saturday, had a few shots of tequila,
yeah,
and then had some beers
yeah,
the next
yeah.
day. And look, now we're here. Now we're here.
And you're doing fine. But although we're only drinking 2 beers tonight, so that's good. We're
Like
gonna keep it
professionals.
like professionals. We're not
Yeah,
overdoing it. Two
yeah.
high octane beers. But before I mean, I'm done with my beer. What do
Me too.
you want to do the next
Yeah,
tasting?
yeah.
You want to do the next tasting now? Okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
We're gonna do it because we drank that first one so fast, and you guys definitely want to have us a little bit tipsy when we go through the brew buzz. We'll go ahead
Especially
and
when
do
we,
our
yeah, I was gonna say, especially when we say words like decoction.
yes, yes. So we're gonna go ahead and do our second tasting, and this beer is another Alabama beer from. It's called Straight to L is the brewery. Yep, and this is
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. And it looks like you can see on the picture there's like a devil and a bunch of atoms, floating around, making a new material in his hand. See that? Whatever. Unobtainium.
I'd say we just crack it open and just let's drink it.
Yeah, let's drink it. I'm gonna get a tip of the can. I should have pulled this out earlier, but I thought I had time. But I think this can's gonna be a bit. Hold on, it says 53, but that's not right. 52. 50, 52 degrees
That's
in the
perfect for an
can.
old ale.
I know. So maybe it's not too cold, but it's what it is an old ale aged in bourbon barrels, 10.1% ABV. Yeah, we're going big tonight.
Spilled a
Big
little.
tonight. It says so much comes together to make this a one of a kind and our most popular yearly release.
Dan said he's nervous about this one.
Nervous? Come on, man. It's going to be great.
It smells terrific. So if you're
Old
nervous about
ales. No,
anything, you're halfway there. It
well, I'm
smells
actually
delicious.
I'm a fan of old ale,
Me
so
too.
it's okay. I know what to expect with an old ale. Um, Old ales are copper red to very dark. Let's see. Oh man, my glass is a little bit. Maybe I should clean my glass a little bit here. Well, yours is
Nailed it.
red, and
Well,
mine
okay, so
is.
mine is if I'm looking at it without the light, I have a friggin' 8,000 lumen, you know,
Yeah,
light there, but it's definitely red copper.
yeah. Mine's in between. Mine's more mahogany. I'll say mine's mahogany color.
You just don't have a lot of light on it, that's all.
Doesn't matter if I have light or not. It's still mahogany. Oh, it smells great though. Oh my gosh, it
It really
smells
does.
delicious. Okay, wait. Let me finish this little. This rich, bold, complex old ale is aged in bourbon barrels for 6 months. This beer is sweet, powerful, and filled with bourbon character. Made with pale malts, black malts, crystal malts, and molasses. Body is medium to full. It smells fantastic. Smells
It's
really good.
it smells like molasses.
Yeah, I'm getting sweetness on the nose with some of that, yeah, molasses, character in there. That, you know,
Candy
cooked up
sugar.
sugar. Yeah,
Hmm.
cooked up
Like
sugar.
caramelized sugar.
I get a little bit of the spirits in there, a little bit of bourbon, but not strong. When it says it was going to be, what is this? With filled with bourbon character, I'm okay with not being filled. I like a little. I like it. I like my distilled spirits in beer to be just a little hint.
A
Don't
whisper, a
overpower it. A
whisper even.
whisper of it. Just a
Kind of like
whisper.
kind
Just
of like LaCroix, right?
yeah.
It's like
I
a
don't. I've never had a LaCroix, so I don't
what?
know. I don't, I
Oh
don't
my.
like. I've never had the only seltzer I've ever had is. I mean, any seltzer of any kind
Yeah.
is the Blue Lightning from Barker 48.
But the LaCroix is not alcoholic. It's just bubble
I
water
know.
with
I
flavor.
never had any regular
Oh my
seltzer,
goodness,
like
Denny.
non-alcoholic. I just don't. I don't drink carbonated things. Beer is the only carbonated thing I drink.
You live in your Boise bubble. Can we taste
Yeah,
this?
it
This
smells
smells,
good.
I will
Yeah,
smell this beer all day. This is so good.
yeah, it smells really good. Okay, let's take a sip of this thing. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. I get that. Oh yeah, this is definitely old ale
Definitely barrel aged too.
and barrel age. You can feel the barrel age in your kind of
As you,
in your
there you
mouth.
go.
It's got that kind of like drawing out of moisture from the tannins, I guess, in there. Um, I'm trying to
Wouldn't say you'd
think,
have to
but
be nervous about this one, Dan. This one's good.
be nervous. Yeah, no, we're professionals. If you've listened to all the episodes, you'll see that I had a session on old ale, old stock ale,
Oh
old
yeah.
brew, old. I had all of them. I love them all.
Well, I
Um,
mean, just as long as, we don't, and I know you've been trying to like catch up through the shows, but we don't ever get on here and go, God, this beer is shit.
well, I will if
We
it's
try
that
not
bad.
to,
I try not to,
but
but I try to be honest too. But no, this is a good. This is exactly what old ale is supposed to taste like. It's got that. The barrel character is really. You just feel the barrel. I mean, it's hard to explain, but it was barrel aged because you just feel that.
well, you almost get the char
That
in the barrel, you get the oaky in
yeah.
the barrel, you get the
Yeah, some
caramel,
oakiness, the
vanilla.
caramel. Yeah, there's definitely caramel, the molasses, um, which is not as strong as I was thinking it was going to be. It's there, but it's in like it's been mellowed out a bit, so it's more of a molasses that's been diluted maybe a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like overly molassesy, um, but no, it's great. And honestly, uh, maybe when it warms up, I'll get more of the barrel of the bourbon spirit character. But I'm happy that it's not overpowered with bourbon. I get a little bit of vanilla in there, but not over, not like nothing like overly bourbonness,
No,
which is good.
nope, not at all. He said it's still good, but it's been a lot better in the years past. Yeah, that happens.
Well, and that's just it. With every yearly release, that's what they said here. It's one of their favorite yearly release ones. Um, every yearly release is going to be slightly different because they're going to change the thing a little bit. They may not be able to get the same malt that they had before. They may have
Yeah.
had something else happen. A new brewer came in, and they got a new brew system. Whatever it might be. There's always going to be a little bit of change to it, and even though Jubilee, which is a yearly release, that beer stays pretty consistent, but there are slight fluctuations between years. Not drastic ones, but I can taste when certain years I enjoy more and I drink more of it that year
Yeah.
because something was a little bit different that made it a little bit more drinkable and something that I just want to go back to a lot. And that's what this reminds me of is remember I was telling you I was drinking Jubilee left over from a 12 a
Yeah.
case that I had a year. So it was over a year old, and I had it in my garage. And I said, you know what, I better drink this. So I was drinking it after, this in January I was drinking it. So it was a year and a few months old. And um, this is kind of the same thing. Like Jubilee kind of turns into an old ale once it sits for a year because it starts to, it has the same kind of characteristics. I think of an old ale, and that kind of reminds me of that. But I'm gonna let this warm up a little bit more. Let me take so it was 52 in the can. Let me see what I got here in the glass. 48 in the glass, straight into the glass. So 48, still a little cold. So I'm gonna let that warm up a little bit while we go into the brew buzz. Anything else you want to say about
Well,
this
I
beer?
was gonna say, let me take my temperature first, real quick too. And yeah, mine's
Yep,
probably
yep.
about 55.
50, 55?
Yep.
Okay. It's a little warmer
Yeah,
in Tampa.
yeah. So the barometric pressure changed and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, it's really good, and it has all those characters that you were talking about. Like it's what an old ale should taste like.
Yeah.
Um,
It's got some dark fruits in there, like
that's what it was.
dried
Dates.
dates, dates, Yeah, it's got some date. That's what it reminds me of a lot. Yeah, you nailed it. That dried, like, you know, sugary date.
Hmm.
And we do eat a lot of dates here. I'm a date. I love dates.
Dates are delicious.
And you know, I don't eat very many desserts, but one of my favorite desserts is homemade date bars where we just take the dates and we cook them up and get them into that nice little, you know, nougat, whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. Then we get my oats out there and spread it on the pan and spread this on and then
That's
bake
it.
it. And oh
Talk
my
dirty
gosh,
to me, Denny.
so good, so good. But yeah, it has dates in it. I'm a big
Mhm.
date fan. So yeah, so I'm gonna take some sips, let it go. I'll give another recap at the end of the brew buzz as it warms up and we talk because I'll have to lubricate my throat, my vocal cords
Well,
with
especially when
beer.
you're talking about decoction.
Yeah, yeah.
Better lubricate your throat when you're talking about
Yeah,
decoction. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Definitely need some old ale for that. All right. Well, now it is time for the Brew Buzz. And the Brew Buzz is devoted to discussing various beer related topics. This week, we're going to learn all about the decoction mashing technique. And guess what? I gathered this information from Google AI, and I'm starting to embrace AI a little bit, and from an article, Decoction, a review in a traditional technique written by Spencer W. Thomas, found on the More Beer website. I will have a link to that article. It's a very long, detailed article. I only took a few snippets out of it to help with what I got from AI. I wanted to go ahead and get some more details. So I did take some bits and pieces from that article and blend it into what AI provided. But I'll have that full article in the show notes if you want to go and read the full thing. It's very detailed, very long. Trust me, I couldn't put all the content in this show because it would be too much. But
I just love
uh,
that they're talking about the Maillard reaction.
yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I even put a little extra tidbits in there. That was all me, Kris, because I didn't know what it was. I said,
Bravo.
let me look this up because I don't want to be too big of an idiot while I'm talking about this stuff. So we're going to have a side topic in our main topic. So
Oh, you know what
you know what,
else?
Kris? What's that?
Happy American Craft Beer Week. That starts
Is,
today.
is it American Craft Beer Week?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Kris,
That's short-lived.
I'm going to start this off. So,
Okay.
the Oxford English Dictionary defines decoction as, quote, boiling in water so as to extract the soluble parts or principles of the substance. Simply put, a decoction mash is one in which a portion of the mash is boiled. Cut and dry. There we go. That was the brew buzz. Let's continue on. No. We're going to go into more detail on this. So, decoction mashing is a brewing technique where a portion of the mash is removed, boiled, and then returned to the main mash to raise the temperature and enhance the flavor development. It's a traditional method particularly associated with European lagers, though it can be used for all or for ales. Also be used for ales. So um, I'm going to do the process, and Kris, I'll let you do the benefits. You can talk all about your Mallard
Yeah.
reaction. All right, the process. A portion of the mash, which is called the decoction, is taken from the main mash, boiled in a separate vessel, and then poured back into the original mash. This process raises the temperature of the main mash and can be repeated multiple times, thus being a single, double, or triple decoction. All right, Kris, what are the benefits of doing a decoction mash?
Denny, there's numerous benefits to a
Yes.
decoction mash. So you've got improved malt character, right? So the boiling of the grains helps break down the cell walls and make starches more accessible to enzymes, resulting in a richer, bready malt flavor. You can increase the color. So the Maillard reactions that occur during the boil contribute to a deeper color in the wort. What the heck is the Maillard reaction? The Maillard reaction is a non-enzymatic browning reaction that occurs when reducing sugars and amino acids are heated. This reaction is responsible for the characteristic brown color, complex flavors, and aroma. So it's the reason your bread toasts and your sugar
Oh,
burns and caramelizes,
oh,
or your food browns. How it works: when food is heated, the sugars and amino acids react, creating thousands of new compounds, including pyrazines, furans, and melanoidins.
wow, you
I
nailed
know
that.
why you asked me to read this one now.
Yes, I didn't want to
These
read this.
compounds contribute to the complex flavors and aromas of cooked food. Caramelization versus the Maillard reaction, though, at higher temperatures, caramelization, a separate process involving the browning of simple sugars, takes place.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
interesting,
why your
huh?
food turns brown.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes,
yeah.
and Jesse said organic chemistry part two. Yes. This
We
was
should have,
this
you know what? We should have Jesse explain this. She probably knows this
well,
really
this
well,
part
right?
this was part of my culinary school. Yeah. So enhanced clarity is another benefit. The boiling process can help to clarify the wort, and the control of temperature steps is by carefully controlling the amount of decoction and the duration of the boil, brewers can precisely control the temperature steps in the mash.
All right.
But what about
Are
the
there any
downside?
downs? Yeah, are there any
Yeah.
downsides?
Yeah, well, it's a very time-consuming practice, Denny. Even, a single decoction mash adds, here comes the beer, adds at least an hour to the brew day. So if
Ooh,
your brewing
hour.
time is already limited, you may not have the extra hours to spend in search of that elusive malt character.
Mm.
Since most of the enzymes are in the liquid portion of the mash, boiling also destroys their ability to further convert starch to sugar. So, special care is needed to take the grain for decoction and not the liquid, destroying the enzymatic activity.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. So, I mean, there's a lot of care that has to go in this process, and how they figured out how this works, amazing. I mean, how did they know that? I mean, to take the grains, not the water. Maybe just trial and error, right? They just went in and poured everything in and boiled it and put it back, and it was like, oh, this didn't work, and or maybe they just took all the water out at one point, boiled it again, and put it back in the thing, and their beer turned out like crap.
Somebody
And they
probably
said,
got wasted
yeah.
drinking their own stuff, forgot about it, and then came back and was like, "Wow, it's rather brown. Well, we got to taste it." And this is delicious. What did you do? I don't know. I fell asleep.
I fell asleep and yeah, who knows? Okay, well, let me talk about some typical decoction schedules. A traditional decoction schedule can include one, two, or three decoction steps and are thus referred to as a single, double, or triple decoction mash. At each step, a portion of the mash is removed, heated through one or more sugar conversion steps, then boiled 20, excuse me, I got a burp there, 20 to 60 minutes. Some brewers suggest that 5 to 10 minute boils are sufficient to achieve decent malt flavor. So maybe you don't have to go 20 to 60 minutes. You can cut that time down. But that's for you to trial and error. I guess we should have done this. We should have done this before we talked to Ben, so we could ask him all these tough questions on how he does his. Find out if he does a 5 to 10 minute boil or if he does a longer boil. Be good to know. The decoction is then gradually and smoothly returned to the mash tun with gentle mixing, raising the mash temperature to the next rest point. A triple decoction, which is probably the most difficult one, a triple decoction mash is the most intensive and longest of the decoction mashes. It is suited to poorly modified malt, which is basically hard to find these days, to beers made from large proportion of wheat. Malt Wheat malt has a different protein makeup than barley and is sometimes higher in protein. It has thus traditionally benefited from a protein rest, though wheat varieties differ greatly and many brewers claim good results with single infusion. You will probably choose to use triple decoction only if you wish to develop the most intense malt profile. So, Kris, what is the historical significance of decoction?
Well, decoction mashing was originally used when malt quality was less consistent and temperature control was less precise. Medieval and Renaissance breweries used decoction mashing to provide predictable temperature boosts in the absence of thermometers thermometer, and controlled heat for their mash tuns. It was a way to ensure optimal conversion of starches to sugars, even with under-modified malts.
Hmm.
So without a thermometer, the only way to get a predictable temperature increase in the mash tun was to add a measured amount of boiling water. And the problem with adding boiling water, however, is that it also dilutes the mash. So
Yeah.
if several mash steps are needed, more and more water must be added to save the mash from a watery doom and the tun from overflowing. The only alternative was to remove some of the liquid from the tun, bring it to a boil, and then return it to the tun. This method also raises the temperature of the mash without increasing its volume.
Yeah, it's smart.
Very clever. So it
Yeah.
wasn't because Steve fell asleep in the
Yeah.
brewery. No, they had to find a way to. I'm surprised they didn't throw rocks or hot rocks in
Yeah.
it or something.
Yeah.
Early malted barley was typically not well modified. Boiling the grain during decoction bursts starch granules and softens the unmodified tips of the malted barley, but just the tips. Okay. Thus, I can't help it. Thus, improving extraction efficiency and yielding a stronger beer from the same amount of malt. Although early brewers did not have hydrometers, they securely became aware that they could make more beer or the same amount of stronger beer by decocting their mash.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's just trial and error, and they found what made the best beer and did those steps. All right. Modern use. We'll finish this thing up here. So quick brew buzz, right? We're going right through this. While modern malts are generally well modified, decoction mashing is still practiced by some brewers to achieve specific flavor profiles and beer styles, particularly those associated with traditional European lagers. And in summary, decoction mashing is a traditional brewing technique that offers brewers a way to control mash temperature, develop rich malt character, and achieve greater clarity and color in their beers. Boom, cut and dry. That was like one of the fastest brew buzz that we did. It must be this great old ale that we're drinking. Got us right through that.
Yeah. Thanks,
Lickety
Dan.
split. Yeah, thanks, Dan. And by the way, this old ale is fantastic. I
Yeah.
think this is like a really well done. I love the fact that it's not overly bourbon barrel, like bourbon character. I love the fact it just has subtle notes of vanilla in there. But we do get big barrel, like that oaky, um, you know, barrel case. And I'm actually getting some, well, it's more that date too, I think. The date sugar almost comes across like maple a little bit, but I think
Yeah.
it's the date character in there. But really good. And if this is not their good year, then man, their good years must be really good because I'm really enjoying this old ale. So thank you again. All right, Kris. It's time for our new and noteworthy beers. We skipped the new and noteworthy last week.
Uh-huh.
And so I have some of my last weeks, and I added one or two from this, or not last week, but last show, and I added one or two. I think I only had one actually in from between last show. So, Kris, what new and noteworthy beer would you like to talk to you tonight?
First one is going to be from Tampa Bay Brewing Company. They're Hoppity Yoppity.
Hmm.
Now, I was stopping over there to have lunch with some friends the other day, and the general manager, Chance,
Yeah.
decided, he said, "Hey, have you tried this new beer we have on?" And I said, "No." He goes, we just put it on tap today." And he goes, "We were using this product in it. We were offered this product. I can't tell you what it is because I can't remember what it was." And Doug, the brewer, was over there too, and it was a product that was I'm trying to remember, some sort of yeast addition or yeast additive that makes the hop flavors more
Yeah, it's a
bright.
precursor. It's probably a precursor.
Whatever
It's
it was, Denny,
yeah.
it's like I think they had it labeled as a session IPA. It
Hmm.
was the closest thing I've had to a fresh hop IPA in a very long time.
Okay.
The flavors of the hops in it were so bright. I gave it a 5-star rating because I haven't had
Wow.
a beer that fresh tasting hop wise in a very long time. And it was just The hops were so bright in it. They were very citrusy,
Mm-hmm.
lemony, um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was. I took a sip of it and I was like, "Whoa, dude, what did you guys get?" And they were like, "Oh, it's just." Thank you, Matt. I think that's what it was, a
Yeah, dialyzed
theolized
yeast.
yeast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, this the company we buy our yeast from gave us this sample to try, and we brewed this beer with it. And I was like, get more. It was delicious. Um,
Yeah, it's one of the topics I wanted to cover. I have it on my notes of things I want to do, but it's something that goes deep into chemistry and science that I don't know if I can really cover good. So we'll need someone that is an expert in theolized yeast and precursors that help bring out flavors in the hops that you're using.
yeah, I mean, it was just delicious. So I didn't count that taster as my check-in, just so you're aware.
You had a full pint?
I no, I left that day, and then I came back. Um, I came back. I don't know. It was a couple weeks ago. I think I've been to Tampa Bay Brewing Company 3 times in the last 30 to 45 days. Um, because we had there's a bug. Yes.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I had a good ADHD moment earlier today. As I'm derailing off of this conversation. I had pasta boiling on the stove, and I was folding
Oh,
laundry, and I heard the
no,
water boiling.
bad plan.
No,
Don't.
and then I heard the water boiling, so I stopped folding laundry, and I went and put the pasta in the water, and I was like, okay. Completely forgot about folding laundry. Got back to it 2 hours later because I sat down, ate my lunch, had and came back in the room, and I was like, oh yeah, I had all this laundry to fold. Anywho,
Uh,
um, so we had lunch with friends. We had a sit mean sit. One of the owners of Sit Mean Sit out in Las Vegas was in town, so we
okay.
we went and had dinner with them, and then we were out with our friends a couple nights ago. So yeah, we've been there a couple times. So when I was there with my friends, look at me not getting sidetracked. I had a full pint, a full pour of Hoppity Yoppity, and that way I could have a check-in that was real.
Nice.
According to you.
Nice.
So 5 cap rating for Hoppity Yoppity over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company, and another Tampa-based brewery called King State.
Mm.
They are a brewery, a coffee roaster.
Oh,
I believe they're a restaurant. I
okay.
mean, they do a little bit of everything. Um, they have a beer called Green Dart, which is I believe it's an Italian style Pilsner. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, nice.
But light, crispy, super refreshing. 4.25 cap rating for that beer, and it was I had it before I started making dinner, sitting out in the garage, waiting for the grill to heat up. The grill was outside, not in the garage, because I'm smart. But yeah, just a really good beer, great beer for, really warm days. That beer was also nice, Eric Gronley. So, those are my new and noteworthy beers. What are your new and noteworthy beers, Denny?
Okay, well, we were on track to getting this done within an hour and a half until Kris got squirreled.
My squirrel was fast today.
I'll
Okay.
try to keep my squirrel down to a low squirrel. So
Hmm.
I do have a few beers. I since the last recording, I did make it to Pocatello. My daughter moved into her new place. I helped, do daddy do lists, and while I'm there, I have to visit Jim Dandy Brewing. There was only two
Of course.
beers they had on tap that I hadn't already had, and I had to have both. And they were both really good. But the one I'm going to talk about that really stuck out, sheesh, now I can't find it, is Jim Dandy Brewing's Dublin Drip Irish Cream Stout.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes, and I found it. So it's they're calling it a stout other, but it basically tasted like Irish cream, like an Irish
Yeah.
cream, uh, yeah, whiskey or something, whatever, drink or whatever. Maybe Irish cream coffee, like an Irish coffee, I guess. Like you
Okay.
go to Ireland. We went to Ireland. I had a few in the morning. I was drinking first thing in the morning because I'd have an Irish coffee.
Well, when in
And so I had
Ireland.
some Irish whiskey in there and everything. And it's kind of like an Irish, like that.
Yeah.
I said, really tasty Irish cream stout. So many tasty flavors with nice pistachio nut flavor and light coffee. Creamy, smooth, and on nitro, and still has great flavor. So this was on nitro, and this
Oh,
beer still had incredible flavor even on nitro. The nitro did not drop that flavor down. And I'm not a huge fan of nitro beers, but I'll try them and give them a shake. Fantastic 5 cap rating, and I had to have 2 of these because they were that good. Really nice beer. That's the first beer. Next one, pFriem Family Brewers Belgian-style Blonde Ale.
oh,
This was a gift from my lovely wife, and I'm trying to go find this one. Absolutely delicious Belgian blonde ale, just the right amount of yeasty esters with coriander and slight peppery blended into the sweetness and finishing dry. 5 cap rating. Yes, pFriem Family Brewers, 5 cap rating. You know how I love their beers. And then I did have the Lumberbeard Brewing's anniversary ale, year 5, and it was an American barley wine. Another great beer from Lumberbeard and a barley wine to celebrate 5 years. Dark candied fruit with some bourbon character, toffee, malt, and slightly boozy. Really good barley wine that will age nicely. 4 3/4 cap rating. And then I had a collaboration beer from Fort George Brewery and Block 15. Block 15 is a brewery in Corvallis, Oregon. I mentioned them on the show where I was talking about trends and whatever. This is called the Vortex Hands 2025. So many great it says HP flavors, hop flavors, citrus, floral, piney, and tropical. 4.5 cap rating, and it's an IPA, by the way, American IPA. But those are my new and noteworthy. See, I
look
kept
at you.
that
You're
short and sweet.
fast.
Yeah. I nailed that one. Okay. All right, Kris. One more thing I want to say about this beer. It is you can't tell that this sucker is 10%
Mm-mm.
alcohol, and that is wonderful. I mean, you can probably tell by hearing Kris and I talk that it's a little bit high in
It's
alcohol.
10%.
But as far as the effect on the beer itself, no way. This damn beer goes down super smooth. That's the other thing. It's super smooth. No sharp characters, no nothing. It's just the only thing I could tell you that you might get concerned with is it does add a bit of dryiness to your mouth. So when you drink it, you do have that kind of feeling that drain of liquid from your cheeks or whatever. But it's not bad. It's just
What is that? Astringency?
astringency. Yeah, a little bit astringent, but not too astringent. Just a little bit. But still really good. All right, Kris. It's time to bring this show to a close. But before we do that, it's time to raise a glass. So who would you like to raise a glass to tonight?
Mom. I want to raise a glass to mom. So we said it a couple times on the show. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I want to raise a glass to all the moms here, not here.
Yes.
Just thank you for bringing us into the world and not taking us out.
That's right. That's right. And if we need to drink a few more beers on Mother's Day, it's okay.
Yeah.
We still love you.
Yeah. To keep things moving forward. And yeah, so cheers to all the moms out there. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. And Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
I have a few toasts tonight. First off, our Patreon toast goes out to our good friends Amanda and Kevin Argauer up there in Ohio, in Akron. Cheers to you two. Thank you for supporting the show for so many years. We really appreciate it. Also, my good buddy Alex Fuchs was here in town since our last episode, and he and I basically he rolled in, and we went out one night and had dinner and some beers at Ruckus Brewing and over at Alliteration Ales, and had some great conversation. And he hit us up right before I took Friday off, so he was here Thursday. We went out Thursday night, and then Friday, Sarah and I left to go move Haley into her new house in Pocatello. So We got to spend one night, but he was here for work, and I guess he was heading right back over to Taiwan, where he's at right now.
Yeah.
So, man, Will Traveler, Will Traveler. Also, raise my glass to Tara Carlson's father, Quick Homer Carlson, for beer loving and swinging that mug at a brewery every time you go, and just for being a good father to Tara. And to Batman Dan and Batgirl Jessie, even though she didn't participate, thank you for these great beers. I am loving this Old Ale. I don't care if it's not as good as the other ones. This damn beer is good.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this, and I only got that much left. So to there. So cheers, you guys. Thank you for sending me these great beers and allowing Kris and I to share them with our listeners. And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass and thank all those who have served and are currently serving in the U.S. military services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and I hope all who are deployed are able to return home safely to their families very soon. And you can find the beers and the link to the article mentioned in the show on the show notes posted at tapsofcraft.com. And it is last call. It's time to bring the show to a close. We want to thank all of you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend and, of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.